the process of marketing research. So we are going back to the marketing function. Now we are discussing marketing function and the marketing research. As we were doing marketing, the 4 Ps, we talked a lot about marketing research and how companies use marketing research in order to know the preferences of their customers, what they need, what they want, and the feedback about their own products, right? So to be employed effectively, marketing research needs to be carried out using careful planning at each stage. The key stages in the process of marketing research are shown here in this process. Now, let me ask you before we start with the process of marketing research, why is marketing research important? Yes, we know the needs and wants of the customers. All the customers? The target. Okay, so we are interested about the target customers and maybe other potential customers that we are planning to target maybe later in the future, all right? The first step would be research planning. We need to plan our research. We define the issues to research. You can't go into marketing research by having, no plan. You need to plan it. What is it that you want to get out of this research? Do you want to know if your customers like black t-shirts, for example? Do you want to know the sizing? What size do they prefer? Do they prefer it tight? Do they prefer it average or oversized? Very specific details on what you are going to get out of your research. Because based on that, you are going to conduct the research, maybe put in some questions, activities, whatever it is that you want to get the answers from your customers. So you put in the research brief and proposal, the initial research design of sampling, method, and analysis. All of this requires planning. The exploratory research, exploration of secondary research, it means other people who have done similar research, you need to look at it and see what kind of results it got, because maybe you can build on it. You don't have to start from scratch. Or piloting of primary research. You need maybe to do your own from zero research. Refining the research design, you adjust the research design informed by exploratory research. So now you are going to refine it, okay? After you have done a vague research, maybe you have to go more into details, into some specifics. The main research collection is collecting the primary research data. You collect the data. How many times have you received a Google form in which you had to answer questions, put in your answers? Okay. Next, you have analysis and interpretation. You take all the data and you analyze it, you interpret it, and finally, you report the findings. You write your conclusions, your findings, and you recommend some points. Maybe you need to do further research to answer more questions. So it's essential to ensure that the research is designed in such a way that it will provide answers to the issues identified as the focus of the research. There should be a link between what you have in mind that you need to find answers to, and the questions that you actually put into your customers. Doing marketing research requires very specific skills, because you need to ask the right questions and have the right answers as possible answers. Okay, if you are having maybe multiple choice, it requires thorough understanding and thorough thinking before you put in the different answers, the possible answers that could be answered by your customers. This means obtaining data from a relevant sample using a method conducive to participation by target respondents, designing appropriate questions or measures and collecting data in a suitable format. This is what this is what I'm saying. You need to collect data in a suitable format that will allow some marketing aspect to be quantified or understood. You want to make sure that your customers aren't, the respondents aren't bored answering your marketing research tool, whatever it is. It's a questionnaire or it's a data collection form. They are not clicking answers randomly, okay? You want to make sure that whatever you are getting is as much as possible is real data and honest data. Here we have types of data collection, marketing research, which can be either collected directly for the purpose of primary research or have been conducted for other purposes. Also, you have secondary research. So you have two types of research, okay? Primary, secondary research. Have you heard of these terms before? Primary research, secondary research. The secondary research is marketing intelligence, which is external. It includes looking at publicly available information and reports. So you are not going directly to the customers and asking them. You are using other reports to conclude other types of data than those reports have concluded. Okay? Sometimes you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can look back at reports that the governments had prepared or other entities have prepared and conclude data from them without having to go back to your customers. So if you need to know, let's say, the number of female students in Jeddah between the age of 18 and 25, maybe you can look at records provided by the government instead of going yourself and asking people whether they are students or not. That's an example. All right, so some kind of data could be obtained as a secondary research and not necessarily as a primary research. So secondary research can include both previously commissioned marketing research. So somebody else has done a marketing research, a knowledgeable company, a knowledgeable marketing research company has done it. So maybe I can use it or buy it from them. Okay. This is the types of data collection. Also, we have two types: quantitative, that measures the quantity with numbers. Quantitative data are typically numerical data, data that lend themselves of being converted into numericals, customer ratings of service, the percentage of people who do this or that, anything that you can measure with numbers. Okay, how many times do you use a certain product a week? How many times do you use, and so forth. Okay, ideally, quantitative data are collected from large samples of respondents that are representatives of a market segment. So, for example, the customer rating of service here, usually we describe a service as being good, bad, average, or okay. We describe it not quantitatively, but qualitatively. We describe it with a word. We describe it with a by an expression, exactly. So we try to describe it with words. Now, when they ask you to put a star or to put a number on your experience, this is when they are converting, from your perspective, this qualitative data into quantitative data, okay? So you would give it a 5-star, I give it 3 stars, somebody else gives it 4, 1, 0, and so on. They will take the average of all of that, of all the customer. And this is all the ratings of the products that you see online. We like, as human beings, to convert the qualitative data into quantitative data. Why? Because it's easy for us to see, to look at, to maybe sort by order, highest مثلا ranked product first. You see them on the website, right? So the same applies on everything. You can convert qualitative data into quantitative data by doing that, by asking people to rank. Excellent means 10, okay? And then good means 5, and so on. Qualitative data are textual or verbal data that are typically explanatory rather than numerical and describe the qualities of something. Okay, we also need qualitative data because when you see only numerical data, sometimes you need more explanation of why is this a 3/5. Okay, sometimes you need to know by explanation and by reasonable sentences, why is it the way it is, okay? Qualitative approaches may be used to learn about customers' attitudes, feelings, decision-making, and motivations, the thing that is not available with numbers, okay? You give it a 3/5, okay, but why? You need to write. Your 3/5 could be explained differently than her 3/5, okay? Because your motivations and her motivations toward the product are different, all right? So this is why you go to Amazon, you look at the product ratings, and different people have given different ratings to those and with different explanations to those products. That's the difference between quantitative and qualitative data. Okay, here we have marketing research. As we explained before, we have internal records. We didn't get to that yet. We didn't mention the organizational records. Of course, you need to use those records as well. Things like the sales data, the complaints record, the loyalty scheme data, the website usage, the accounting records, all of these are reports that you have access to immediately because they are internal to your organizations. Market. Page 9. Page 9. It's called 9. Okay. Yeah. Can I see it? This is the newest PowerPoint. So maybe you have an older version. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't help. Okay. For marketing research, as we said, we have primary and we have secondary. For primary, we have quantitative with numbers. So this is what I just explained, quantitative and qualitative data. The quantitative data could be you can get with survey data, observation, experimental, diary data, tracking data, and things like that. The qualitative, you can do interviews, you can do focus groups. Yani you have a group of people and you discuss with them, you do brainwashing about a certain product, brainstorming about a certain product, okay? So there is a discussion into what they like, what they don't like about the product, how could it be improved, you get the feedback of the customers. This is a focus group. Projective techniques, data, diary, data, accompanied shop. Yani you go to the shop and accompany the customers to see what their reaction is on looking at certain products. So this is about the primary marketing research. Now, regarding the secondary marketing research, also we have quantitative and qualitative. It could be customer research on another project. It could be research on customer behavior patterns, but somebody else has done this research, not you. You are going to use their data to your own interest. Okay. Also, you have some external sources, marketing intelligence, that is also quantitative or qualitative, like websites, like observation, news articles in the magazine or in a newspaper, online, trade publications, books, and periodicals. This is also external. It's also part of a secondary research that other people have done. All right. Any questions?